Hello and welcome back. Right, so whilst digging around in the attic for some old vinyl of mine for the kids to play on the record player, I found some odds and ends, which I'd forgotten I had. So I've got this Matchbox M9, I think it is, double lorry. So that's I thought would be a nice thing to restore. However, there is a hitch. Both trailers are missing their rear doors. And the only people who are supplying the rear doors as spares are Model Supplies, and they're closed until further notice. So that was a bit disappointing. But anyway, this is like the blue, and I think originally it would have been the grey trailers, and I think somebody in the past has painted the roofs red. And you'll notice the dolly in between is unpainted, so that would always have been like that. And it's got the silver horns on the cab. So it's not a bad thing. And I think it would come up quite well. The glazing isn't broke, it's quite badly scratched. But I'm sure we could buff that up. And it's all there. It's just a couple of bent axles. And a paint job. There you go, I'll just show you the Hendrickson tractor, that was it. Right, I think they made these from 62 to 67, something like that. So that's quite interesting anyway. So that's a project for the future. Now you might remember in a previous video I was talking about how I got a couple of sets of Battle of Britain bubblegum cards in exchange for football cards back in the day when I was at school. I was a little kid a long time ago. And anyway, and part of the deal I did is I also got a near complete set of UFO cards. So these ones date from 1970 and they're by Anglo. And I think they're a set of 64, I think. And when you put them all together, they make a poster on the back side of them. But I'm missing about 20 cards. I thought I was only missing about 3 or 4, but I'm missing about 20. So I'll see if I can pick those up. And when I get the complete set, I'll make up the poster and I'll put it into a frame, I think, for the wall, because I think that'd be quite a nice thing to do. But it's that lovely sort of 60s, 70s artwork. You can see there's a bit of a UFO interceptor on the back of that one. A Shadow 2 mobile. And I think when I was a kid I had some Captain Scarlet bubblegum cards, but I only had a couple. Look at that. So quite a few there. So I thought that was quite an interesting thing to share with you. Now, whilst in the attic, I also found a box containing some annuals. And I thought you guys might find this interesting. So we have, from 1951, the first Eagle annual. So if you stop and think about that, that's nearly 70 years old. It's quite scary, isn't it? I'll just get a better shot lined up of this. And I think I got these from charity shops and stuff in the 80s. And they were like, there were no money at the time sort of thing. So they're kind of interesting. And they've got like, very sort of distinctive 50s, 60s colour artwork in them. So there you go, Dan Dare. If you've ever heard of Dan Dare but didn't know where he came from, this is for you. Pilot of the Future. And so this is how the future would look from 1951. And I think the future for Dan Dare is 1988, I think. So that was a disappointment. We didn't all have flying cars and rocket ships. So quite interesting annuals actually to look back at them. So I might have another one. There you go, I've got number 2. You see, it's all kinds. It's all full of. If you've never heard of these, they are full of sort of stories for boys, adventure. There's kind of a moral thing to them as well. And there'll be things like hobbies and history and a bit of everything really. I'll see if I can find some of the colour. That's cowboys. They're not really interesting cowboys. There you go. It's Saunders Row Flying Boat. There you go. That'll be one for a kit someday, I think. Do something a bit off the wall. Yes, it's jet-powered flying boats, if you stop and think about that. So it's all that lovely artwork of the time. I'll just try and find Dan Dare for you, just to show you the colour. Quick flick through. It's very exciting, honestly. So you got quite a lot for your money in those days. There you go. Build yourself a ship. How to build a ship. It's a great colour. And if you have a look, there you go, 1988. Mars in 1988. So there you go. You see, Dan Dare was already there. So there you go. That's the future for you. I think this is in 4-colour autograph or something. I can't remember. I did read that somewhere. So anyway, so that's the future or the past. Now here, look at it. Oh, I've got another one. I've got number 3. So what's in here? Okay, some more daring do. There you go. How to build scenery for your model railway. Making trees and stuff. This is all useful stuff. There you go. How to develop your airliner. What's Dan Dare up to in this one? There you go. Now this is like a typical gentleman with his smoking his pipe whilst lounging. All right, we won't get anyone smoking now. But in those days, real men had pipes. Okay, so we've got, there you go, that's number 3. What else have we got around here? Oh, look, I've got number 5. I have no idea what happened to number 4. So you can see you got quite a lot for your money. There was a lot of stuff in there. There you go, here's your fish. Go know your pike. There you go, Operation Plum Pudding. We won't go into too much. I have no idea what that was about. If I flick through, there's some nice artwork in these books as well. So there you go. You can imagine people cutting, those people that cut up old books for the pictures. There you go. It's a nice 50s artwork. It's HMS Eagle. I meant to look up actually what became of HMS Eagle, but there you go. Look, fairy gannets. I think I made the frog fairy gannet when I was a kid. Has to be said, it's an ugly aeroplane. Oh, we got number 6. You might see a pattern forming here, guys. There you go. It says, look at the index. Oh, look, hobbies. Let's have a look at that. What have we got? How to make your own crystal set. So there you go. So this is real men's stuff, like make your own radio. Looking after your camera, taking care of your tools. This is all proper stuff. Home for your pets. So let's look up how to make a crystal radio. Just got to try and find the page. This is in the days when you had to read your annuals. And there weren't as many pictures as I remember them. Okay, we're going to get there eventually. There you go. So there's 2 pages on how to make a crystal radio. An exciting way to spend your winter evenings. Right, 15 shillings for the headphones, which I think was quite a lot of money in 1950, whatever it was. So you go make your coil. And some of these components would have been quite pricey, let's be honest. Because you wouldn't have had a Radio Shack to go to. There you go. Germanium crystal. It's like, kind of like Star Trek on a budget. It's very interesting. Right, what else we got? Let's move those out of the way because we're getting too close to the camera. Oh, I got number 7. There you go. So, again, you've got topical sorts of land speed records and what have you. And what's our hobbies in this one? Let's have a look. Be your own weather prophet. That's interesting. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Build your own aeroplane. Make your own printing set. Camp on your own. Okay, we might ignore that one. Yes, I'm not quite sure why I'm zooming in on that so much. So I'm voicing this over afterwards. Okay, so what else have we got to play with? I just noticed that. Humorous strips. Yes, well, it was the 50s, I suppose. But then again, I think they knew what they were doing. Alright, let's move on. Okay, what do you think we got next? It's Eagle, but it's the Eagle Book of Cars and Motorsport. Now, believe it or not, this I think is 1958. So again, you've got nice colour plates. Racing cars of the time. Various events. That's hill climbing. There you go. So that's proper motoring. That is. Get your wheels off the ground. No roll bar. No seat belt. And if that goes over, you're dead. So that's real motoring for men. none of this roll cages and harnesses and stuff. Who else have we got in here? I think we've got a picture of Sterling Moss here somewhere. There you go, Sterling Moss. So there you go. So it's like a sort of topical book for boys, I suppose. That's actually a horn. That's a car horn, that thing is. That looks amazing. Have that as an ornament. Alright, what else we got? Yep, it's another one. So obviously, again, as it went into the 60s, I think it was different publishers, or different people controlling it, I think. So again, you got more adventurous stuff, you know, speedway and what have you. What's our hobbies this time? Privateer. Having fun with your tape recorder, jet engine, make a cabinet for your records. Now, what sort of tape recorder do you think you'd have in the early 60s? Is this 1961? Let's have a look. Flick, flick, flick. Ah yes, a good old-fashioned open reel tape recorder, which may well have had valves in it. Because I used to have one. They used to get hot and the tapes would snap. There you go. Another one. What have we got in here? I'm just flicking through these because if you've never seen the Eagle annuals before, you might find it interesting. So there's lovely illustrations in these things. There you go. Who needs Turner? There you go. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, so what's our hobby in this one? Oh, do a bit of jousting. Hopefully that's not a hobby to go jousting, because that wouldn't be recommended for small kids. Oh, polo, like you do. And our hobbies are build a rocket missile. I have to admit, when I saw that, I was kind of hoping that they went out and made something using some what we consider now very dangerous substance. But on flicking to it, I'm afraid I was a little disappointed. Sorry about the funky camera work. Then get there eventually. The problem is you start reading it as you're flicking through, and I have to keep reminding myself. There you go, it's a big rubber band. Now let's get focus. Might never matter. Yeah, can you see it's big rubber? 8 foot of rubber. So you could probably have done an injury to someone with that when it was fully stretched. But there you go. So slightly anticlimactic. Okay, what have we got? Oh, we got another one. Up to 1963. Okay, so what have we got in this? In our hobbies, we have. Let's see if we can make a barbecue, or we can go camp the Outward Bound way. Make yourself model catamaran or 3D pictures. Oh, let's have a look at 3D pictures. 1962. I swear that said 1962. Lost track of what year I'm doing there. Ah, right. So it's actually a cutout. So cutout pictures and make like an optical illusion. Not quite the 3D that people would be hoping for. Right, so we're up to 1964. Okay, so it's all sort of educational. It's always a mixture of education and daring do. think they're just diving for sponges or something. There you go. Bit of shark food. Okay, so that's 1964. This is 1968. I swear I've got another one in between those, and that's 1970. I thought I'd spare you any more of that. Okay, well, whilst rummaging around in the attic, I also found a box which I've got some stuff in this I'd clean forgot about, and I think you might find this very interesting. So we have a double kit for the Spectrum Maximum Security Vehicle and the Angel Interceptor, which I think is pretty cool. Although I don't think these are particularly good quality kits, to be quite honest. I think they're quite tiny in the box. But even so, it's an Angel Interceptor. Now there's more. What do you think's next? Yep, Fab 1. So there you go. So it's a plastic kit of FAB1, Lady Penelope's Rolls Royce, in pink plastic. And I think I've had that since the 90s, the early 90s, I think. It's one of those things I got with the intention of doing someday, put it away, and just forgot all about it. It's the usual stash story, I suppose. Now there's more, you know. You'd never guess I was into Captain Scarlet. So we've got the this kit. I think it makes a friction-powered car. I'm not quite sure, but we'll investigate that. So that's quite cool, isn't it? Now, what could possibly top that? Well, drum roll. We have Thunderbird 2. Now, if you don't think Thunderbird 2 is cool, I don't want to know you. You can go and unsubscribe right now, I don't care. So, we've got that kit as well. It's by Bandai. I think the other ones are Imai's. We've got 2 Bandai's and 2 Imai kits. So we shall find out which is the better quality, if at all. Yes, that's an Imai. I think Imai hopefully will be better. So, we've got 4 kits here. So I think, for lockdown, shall we live a little and make them? So, which would you like to see done first? Leave a comment and we'll do it. Okay,